South Africa presents a very unique scenario. Unique in the sense that this is one of the few societies in the world where a group of whites in 1948, led by Hendrik Verwoerd, institutionalized racism and characterized people according to their skin color, and it became a legal thing to be racist. The international community declared apartheid to be a crime against humanity. It was decimated in 1994, and all residents of South Africa, we are told, we are now South Africans, we are now a rainbow nation with blacks and whites and everybody else. That is the theory of it. But underneath, there are people who still believe that they are superior. They are slave masters who cannot even begin to imagine that the former slaves have left and want to be treated as equals. And you can see that there is resistance. That is how you see the creation of white-only enclaves such as Orania. That is why you see in the rhetoric of some of the whites, they actually want to create a white state. And they want the Western Cape and the Orange State and those others to be the fulcrum so that they have their white-only state. But they are whites. They are persons of Asian origin who long liberated themselves from this belief. And historically, you'll find that there were whites who are involved in the struggle against apartheid. People like Ruth First, people like Ahmed Kathrada, who are not of African origin, but Mark Maharaj. These were individuals who believed, as Robert Sobukwe once said, that there is only one race, the human race. So today when you hear people complaining about what they call reverse racism, is because they are being denied the opportunity to be slave masters again, and they cannot believe it. They are the ones who are attracted by this suggestion that they can go to the United States and liberate themselves. And no sooner do they arrive in the United States than they recognize that life is much better in South Africa and they come back. There is no reverse racism. What the South Africans want to reverse is the inequality. And South Africa is the home of inequality. If you go and see the kind of land that is still controlled by whites in that part of the world, particularly in the Western Cape, you will be shocked. So the whole idea of reparation, the whole idea of bringing equality, and the whole idea of the movement of having land redistribution is to correct the past, the injustices of the past. And peace can only be sustainable where there is no injustice. You cannot have a small percentage of the population owning more than half of the arable land, and you expect the disenfranchised persons of African origin to remain silent. Of course, they will make many claims that this is racism, but they know in their heart of hearts that what is being done is to repair the damage that was occasioned for nearly 300 years. And that effort is going to continue. There'll be protests, there'll be accusations and counter-accusations, but my own view is the sooner that these remnants of apartheid, these remnants of racism recognize that sustainable peace and justice not only requires but demands that justice be done to all, then only and only then will they find peace, the inner peace that they need. All these ideas of changing the narrative will not take them very far, because justice will be done. It may be painful, but the pain can be avoided through negotiation. And I think this is what the successive administrations in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, have tried to do, despite the pushback from the remnants of white racism.